Hello everybody, how is it going? So today I just wanted to talk about the Melbourne regionals hosted by TAC. As we see, Law getting first place, very cool. But I kind of just wanted to take a second to talk about all the top 16 decks, and honestly the circle's looking kind of good. It's looking pretty diverse, and Newgate actually not taking the top spot, rather Law taking the top spot for most decks seen in the top 16. But honestly, I don't think it looks too bad. Yes, there is still the old 3 decks still very prevalent, but Katakuri showing up pretty well. There's a couple Rebecca's, Dofi, Ace, and obviously in the top 32 there's a bit more variety. We see Nami, King, Smoker, which is pretty cool. Unique. By the way, shout outs to Egman. This is Egman Events. I'll leave a link to this website and his channel in the description. But yeah, it's honestly this circle isn't looking too bad in my opinion. Cool to see Law win. I think his list is very interesting, and I'm gonna go over that in a second. But yeah, we can see 4 Laws, 3 Zoros, 3 Katakuris, 2 Newgates, 2 Rebeccas, 1 of the new Dofi, and 1 Ace. Interesting to see Ace here as well. We can look at that list too. But I'm happy to see more Rebeccas, especially in top 16. Very good. Katakuri is very good, but he kind of just has a hard matchup into Law and Whitebeard, so it's kind of like the triangle where Law beats Yellow and Newgate beats Yellow. Rebecca beats Law and Newgate, and then Katakuri beats Rebecca. And Zoro's kind of also thrown in there. Rebecca does good in the Zoro. Zoro does pretty well against Katakuri. I think I'm not too confident in this matchup, honestly, but yeah, I haven't played really either of the decks enough to really tell you, but I'm pretty sure that Zoro would still do pretty well in the Katakuri, so that's kind of like the triangle I see. And then we see Dofi sneaking up here. I think the deck is very strong. I haven't played it enough again to tell you the matchups, but the actual engine and just how the deck works is very strong. And then an Ace, which is cool. Ace theoretically does very well in the Law. I don't know how he does into the other matchups. I imagine he wouldn't do too great into Zoro. Probably not too great into Katakuri. Maybe he does okay against Newgate because of all the removal. I'm not too sure though. But yeah, we can just quickly look at the lists. I think this is the Law list. Yeah, this is the first place Law list. And some choices that I thought were very interesting was he's playing Robin, he's playing Basil, and he's playing the 8-drop Kid. And I think all 3 of these cards are cards that me personally, I wouldn't even consider running. But obviously, maybe I have a bad take here. But Robin, I feel like is just too greedy into Zoro if you're expecting to see Zoro. And I feel like you're inevitably gonna see Zoro. So that's why I don't like playing her. I feel like if you want a removal spot, I'd play Vista. But she is searchable, so I understand why you'd want to play her. She's obviously very strong against Zoro if she actually gets the stick, but I feel like you get punished very hard by Fire Fist if you play this card. But again, could be a bad take. Clearly, it worked out for our first place here. He's playing Basil. Again, very good into Whitebeard and other decks that play a lot of top end or just bigger bodies. I don't hate the card. It is a proactive play, kind of like your Law. I don't think it's as strong as a proactive play as your Law, obviously, but it is nice if you only have a restand Law and him in hand. You just play him down, and the next turn he'll be able to fight for board really well. And then 8-drop, I'm assuming 8-drop is literally just for the Newgate matchup to give you an edge. I don't know what other matchups you'd really want this in. I feel like it would just make your yellow matchup worse, but it's fine. You just don't play him if you see him, or if you're searching him, you just don't take him. It's fine. But I imagine it's mainly for Newgate to just buy an extra turn, which is sometimes all you need in that matchup. Against Zoro, I feel like Zoro just has too many answers to the card now. Again, Rebecca probably deals with it quite easily. There's just a lot of decks that just, kind of annihilate this card. So very interesting to see him playing it. I'm imagining it's just for the Newgate matchup, and that's fair enough. The rest, he is playing 3 events, which is normally I think it's 1 and 1, usually, but yeah, playing 3 is fine. It's always nice to have more defense searchable off Nami. Can't complain. Yeah, there's the list. Again, these are cards that I haven't really considered. I've tried them. I've at least tried Basil and I've tried Robin, but I know one of my friends has tried 8-drop and he seemed to like it. I don't know. I'm just I don't love like taking an entire turn to set this up, because like you want to play it, and then like if you want to use the effect, you can't leader effect that turn. So a little bit weird, but maybe I need to try it and get back to you guys on it. But yeah, this is the first place law list, and we can go over a couple more real quick. Let's check out, where's Ace? There he is. I want to see the Ace list. Okay. Looking like a pretty normal. He is playing Striker, just the one of 4 buggies. This looks like a very normal Ace list, kind of what I would expect. Kind of running like the Newgate core, but you get to run buggy as well. Playing an amount of Seaquakes, Fire Fist, stuff like that. Normal Ace cards. Yeah, should do well into Law. I'm pretty sure it would do decent into Newgate as well. Interesting. I wonder how it does into Rebecca. I imagine it's pretty good into Rebecca. Obviously, your 1-drops won't stick, but you play Marco. You play both Marcos. Ace is always a strong card. 9-drop will probably get answered into Rebecca, but it's still 9-drop, so gotta play it for other matchups and stuff. Yeah, interesting that he made top 32. That's awesome. I think he was actually top 16, which is really, really good. So that's yeah, shout outs to him. Who was he? What's his name? Who are you? Ryan Lau. Going huge. Any other interesting lists? Obviously, if you guys want to see any of these lists, I'll leave the link in the description. Let's check out the Rebecca list that got 9th. Anything interesting? 1 Red Rock. Okay. Not playing 10-drop Kuzan. Playing the Tashikis. I like the Tashikis. Lets you answer bigger bodies. Yeah, list looks good. I don't know what else to say. Playing 4 King Kong Gun. That's fair. This card is like really good, and in some matchups you just win purely off this card. So, fair enough. Yeah. So, let's see. I think that's really it. But I'll go to some gameplay now, and we can talk a bit more about the regional and how I think the meta is developing, I guess. Alright, so I'm just going to throw up some random gameplay. This is just against the Newgate. But let's discuss what's going on in this game right now. So we still see the big 3, quote unquote, at least in the card game, still doing very well. That being Law, Zoro, and Whitebeard. Yeah, I don't know, at least for this format, if we're ever gonna get away from that, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, because I first off, I really don't want another ban list. I just kind of want to see. I want the meta to develop just a bit more before I'd even consider a ban list. I'm kind of cool with just letting everything rock for now. I think if there were to be a ban list, they need to hit multiple decks to actually balance it, and even then, I don't even think it's necessary. But yeah, I think we're slowly gonna see more Rebecca. It just kind of how it working is that like Katakuri like gatekeeps Rebecca, and Law gatekeeps Katakuri. So does like Whitebeard. So it's like, again, it's like the triangle I was talking about earlier. Hold on, have I uploaded this gameplay before? I might have, I'm sorry. At this point, I'm just talking. I don't think I have, but maybe I have. I'm sorry if I did. Yeah, I think we will eventually see more Rebecca. If people, like if Law keeps doing as well as he's doing, I feel like more people will be taking other decks, and then Rebecca will become more prevalent. I think we'll definitely see more Dofi. I think Dofi really doesn't have a terrible matchup into anything, because he has the tools to deal with Law, because Sugar is very strong against Law. You can just kind of play like a kid type game where you just starve them out, and if you have Sugars, you can just keep like bullying their board until you win on resources. I think he does fine into Newgate, does fine into Zoro, because 10-drop is very good into both those matchups. I think it's a bit hard against Rebecca, because if they can set up their removal with Orlumbus and stuff, you kind of need like Luffy's to kind of get like some of your board to stick, because if you're just playing 1 card a turn, it'll probably just be answered the next turn. But other than that, I think most of his other matchups are fine. Croc might be a little bit hard, but it's kind of the same Rebecca deal where the film engine should be able to get you there. See, I think that deck is very solid, maybe just not enough people are playing it. I assume a lot of people are just more comfortable on decks like Law, Zoro, Newgate because they've been playing them for such a long time. So, I feel like as we see more of, more tournaments, we'll see more new decks. I do want to see, like, more Croc. I wish, like, Croc had... I think he did make top 32, but he didn't have a top 16 slot, but that's okay. I think Croc kind of loses to Law, but then he does pretty well against Newgate. I think he does really well into Rebecca. So maybe if, like, Rebecca starts surging again, we'll see more Croc to play against Rebecca, and I think it just depends what we're going to see the most played. Like, I think if we continue to see a lot of the red decks played, we will see more Rebecca eventually, and then if there's more Rebecca, there'll eventually be more Katakuri and, like, Croc, and it's just going to depend what, like, more people are playing to, like, the decks that we're going to see. I think we'll also see, like, slight changes in lists. Like, because I know a lot of the OCG lists for Rebecca play, like, 10-drop Kuzan as, like, a nice out to, like, the yellow top end with their 10 drops, because it'll just put it at 5, and then you can Orlumbus one of their 10 drops and then just, like, pop it, or just 3000 Worlds it without even having the Orlumbus. So I'm interested to see if lists kind of go that way, but then again, like, that build would then make it a bit hard, make your red matchup a bit harder. So it's very interesting. That's just kind of how I see it, that depending what more people are playing, you'll see more of a different deck. And yeah, right now, at least for this tournament, Law was obviously very well represented. Is that a word? I hope it's a word. Represented. That's it. I don't know what I'm saying, man. English is hard. But yeah, that's just kind of how I see it right now. Law, I still think this deck is crazy. I think it's still just the best leader affecting game. And yeah. I don't know if he's as strong as Newgate as a leader, just how they're designed, but I still think his leader effect is ridiculous. But that's just how I see it for now. We'll definitely see how things flesh out a bit more. I do think if we eventually have a ban list, I think Law would need to get hit. I think Yellow would need to get hit. I think the other two red decks would need to get hit, whether, I don't know what exactly they would hit, but yeah, I don't want to turn that video into a ban list discussion, but that's just kind of how I see it. They need to hit all of the decks that are doing things right now for the ban list to even make sense, honestly. Because if they over-nerf red, then, like, Katakuri will probably just take the top spot because Rebecca has a bad matchup into him, and he does pretty well against every other deck, so yeah, that's just how I see it. I'm going to let the rest of the gameplay rock, and yeah, I'll leave a link again to the deck lists and Eggman's YouTube if you guys want to check out more of the lists and stuff. Well, thank you guys for watching.